Hi everyone, this is Jann, and today I have our next little project, and I've been working on it for a few days, and we are going to do a ton of zipper bags. Now, Gloria, on her show, Patty was on there, and she was showing everyone how to do a zipper bag out of the IQ Designer book. But I wanted to do one that was easier because I've never done a zipper bag in IQ. I've only done them on the sewing machine, and I've purchased embroidery designs that were done by other digitizers. So this is my first zipper bag that I have done on IQ, and I needed it a little simpler to do. So I have done a little zip bag that is square. It has a center zip. You have a key ring up here, and the last one I put my name on it, and I'm going to use it as my USB holder because I'm getting Gloria's kits every month, and I wanted something to put my little USBs in if I need to take them to a class or something, so I put my name on it. So that's what we're going to do in this, and you can see I've done several different ones, and what makes this design so nice is this is all charm packs. So all of these were made from one charm pack. You can do, I think, 15 different bags in one charm pack because it only takes like 4 pieces of material, okay? And you can see I started out with a bigger one, and then I went to another one, and each time I had to check everything. This one here, it was okay, but I ended up, with the line. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, there's a line all the way around it. My side pockets were showing, so I had to bring it in a little closer. This was the finished product after doing 4 or 5 of these bags. So I ended up with this one right here. It's smaller, but it is still big enough for lip balm, chapstick, USBs, or anything else that you want in it. And when you open it up, you have your little lining inside that looks pretty, and then the back side. And I used a different piece of fabric for each area that I did, and it looks fine as long as it's in your collection of charm packs. You can do that, and it looks fine. And everybody has charm packs. I have a ton of them, and that's just an easy way to do them. So when I was designing this, I had my charm pack size and what I wanted to do here, and what size I wanted, how far I wanted my sides to come over, how far I wanted my backing to go. And as you can see down here, I started out with these dimensions. These didn't work right. I did another dimension. Those didn't work on one of the other cuts. And then I ended up, okay, I want to revise it to something else. And this is what I ended up with. If you want to take a screenshot of that, you can. But that's the steps I took into making this zipper pouch. So as you can see, it's not just hop on the machine and do it whenever you're creating another project. Sometimes it takes days to get your project the way you like it. It's a lot of testing and a lot of revising. So I have everything that I want, all the settings that I want, and that's what I'm going to give to you today. So I'm going to turn the light off, and I'm going to scoot my camera back over to the machine. Get it lined up so that you can see it. Now I'm going to have some close-up shots here, and what I'll do is I'll edit those and I'll bring them in closer to you so you can see them when I edit the video that I'm doing. So I have my little notepad right here, and I'm going to be looking at it because I have the measurements that I want to use and the order I want to put this in. So the first thing, now a lot of this is when you're sewing it out. You're going to want to change your hoop size to 5x7 because we're keeping this in a charm pack, remember. And you also want to put on your grid. I'm going to put my grid on to 1 inch. And when you sew it out, you want to raise your presser foot. Now this is normal, 0.60, where the black box is. That's normal. I upped mine 1. Okay? And you slow your machine down. You know, don't have it rip-roaring up here as high as it'll go. Slow it down to at least about 400. Okay? Because we're going over zippers, we're going over our loop up there, and it's a nice speed to where if you break a needle, it's not going to be a disaster. I haven't broken a needle, so make sure you have a size 14 needle in your machine also. Okay, so those are some of the settings you're going to want when we stitch this out. So the first thing we want to do is we want to create our zipper outline. Okay, that's where we lay our zipper down right in between these lines and tape it down. So let's go to IQ. Let's go to our box over here, our shapes. We want our box, number 1. Okay. We want to size that. And I'm going to go up here to our little box up here. Some of you might not have that, and you might have to type in your measurements. So our measurements are, the length is going to be 4.5, 4.5, and set. Our width is going to be 1 inch. So just put in 1 and set, and we have our zipper. Click OK. Now let's assign it a color. So, well, before I do the color, we want to erase the ends. Now I'm going to bump this to 200. There, you can see it a lot better. So the next thing we need to do is go to our eraser, up that to, maybe 30. Go to the square, and we're going to erase the ends of this, okay? So touch your eraser, just come over here, and just barely, it's okay if you have a little bit of the end showing. Come up here, do the same thing, and go across. Okay, click OK. Now let's go ahead and assign it a color. So go to Line Properties, Straight Stitch, do red, OK. Go to the bucket and turn each line red. Now we're going to save everything we do on this zipper pouch. So save it first, go to Memory, go to your machine, then go Next. Now touch your link button because I want to link both of these lines. Leave everything the same. Set, OK. And now we have our first item in the menu up here. So that is our zipper alignment. Your zipper's going to go right in between these lines here, and then you'll take the zipper up. Now I'm going to do a sew out of this when I'm finished here, so you can see how to sew it out and line it up and everything. Okay, next in line here is we need our zipper tack down. So let's go add IQ. I'm going to go to shapes again. We're going to go to our box, go OK, go to size, and I'm going to go up to our box, and for the length, I still want 4.5, set, and for our width, I want 0.75, but if I try to put point, you get a double knock, so go 0.75 and then hit set. Then click OK. Now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to erase the ends again. Bring that up a little bigger. Let's go to 200 so I can see it. We're going to erase the ends. Now you can bring in the first one you did if you want to. I just thought it was a little easier to do this. Okay. Now go to line properties, go to a straight stitch, and go to green. Okay. Go to the bucket and touch each line green. Now we want to save this too. Go to memory, go to machine, go next. Gotta link this one too. Link it, set, OK, and now you can see in the menu. Now on your machine, you can see that this is smaller than that. Okay, and that's what we want. It's going to tack down our zipper that we laid down here. Okay, so the next thing we do, we're going to do the sides. We're going to put in the sides here of our bag. So let's go add. Let's go IQ. We're going to go back to our shapes, pick up our box, go OK. Now let's go to size and go up to our keypad here, and our length we want 4.30, so this is the length, so 4.30, set, and the width we want 1.87, so 1.87, set. Okay, go OK. Now let's go up to our box, or line properties, straight stitch. Let's do purple. OK. Go to our bucket and touch our line purple. Okay, now at this point, everything is in the center. We're not veering in different directions until we move this out, but we're still in the center. So what we want to do now is we want to go ahead and click next. Now save it. Make sure you save this. Okay, now go next. Then set. Okay. Okay, now we have our purple box here. Now what I'm going to do is, while we are in the edit mode, it lets me see the lines here. So I'm going to go up to edit and I want to move, and we want to move it to the left. Now let me bring this in to 200 here. See, you have a green line and a red line. I don't know if you can see the colors on your screen. What we want to do is move this top line here on the left. We want to move it down until it's a little bit before we get to the green line. Okay, so I'm going to go over here. It's the key. Now keep going till it's almost at that green line. Let's see if I can zoom that in. If I go 400, maybe you can see it. I don't know. This line right here is the green line. That's where we tack down our zipper. And here is the top of that back line. So it's just a smidge above it. Okay, go back to 200 so I can see it. Okay, so there is, it's in placement, so we only use this key here to move it down. Okay, okay. Now we're in edit still. So what I want to do is duplicate this so we can do one on the other side. So duplicate. Now let's go back to move. Okay, now let's move this one. And we're going to do the same thing. Oops, too far. Now I'm just going a smidge past the green line. Now we need to bring it up some. So I'm just eyeballing it. That looks about even right there. Okay, let's go up to 400. And you can see my line is right here and my line is right here. The reason this one is red is because it's selected. So we have both of those in place. Let me go back to 200. So we have both of our sides in place. And what I want to do is go ahead and save this while I have it where I want it. So let's go and save it to the machine. Okay, now I'm going to go back to edit. Now I have two purple ones and I want them a different color. So I'm going to leave the first one purple. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on this one. Now I'm going to touch on the color. Gives me a color box and I'm going to turn this one blue. Okay. Now that one's blue. Now the machine will stop whenever it finishes the first one. It'll stop and I can go ahead and put the fabric on the next one. Okay. So now we want to go back and we're going to go ahead and click on add. And we are ready to do our backing. Now there's a step before this when we sew it out where we have to unzip our zipper, put our top loop on before we put our backing on. Okay, and I'll show you that whenever I do that. So now we have our two sides. We have our purple and our blue. And the next thing I want to do is put in the backing. So let's go add IQ. Let's go ahead and go to our shapes, our square. Okay. Let's go to our sides. And I want this one to be 4.09. Set 4.09 set. Click OK. Alright, now go to line properties. We want a bean stitch. So I want this stitch right here. And let's use a brown, okay? Let's go over here to brown. There's brown. Okay. Go to our bucket, turn it brown, and save it. Go to the machine, go next, keep that. Go set. Okay. Now we have our outline. Now I want to reinforce this, okay? So let's go ahead and go add IQ. Let's go back to our square. Okay. Size. Now for this one, I want this just a hair bigger. So let's go 4.16, set, and 4.16 and set. Go OK. Go up to our align properties. We want this a bean stitch. And let's go ahead and do a bright gold on that. Click OK. Go to our bucket. Click on our line. Save this to the machine. Now go next. Keep that. Set. OK. And now we should have a reinforcement line here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we have everything there. Now I'm going to go to, so we can see what it's going to do. Let's go up here to our little hoop here, and let's go here, and let's just stitch this out, okay? So the first thing is our zipper placement, and then tacks it down. Now we do our sides. Now we do our first stitch on our backing, and we do our second stitch. And you can see the second stitch here. See how it's a little bit bigger, but it's going to reinforce that again. You need a little more reinforcement where you have this zipper on both of the ends. So that's why I made another stitch, but I didn't want it right on the top. So this makes it nice because it has a little bit of a gap there. Okay. So that is your sew out. So we're good on our sew out there. And let's close this. Okay, now the next thing you need to do is you need to save this in your memory. Okay, so let's go memory, save it to the machine. This will make a PHX file. Okay, and then if you want to sew it out, then we're going to go to embroidery, and we're going to go ahead and sew it out, and you'll get to see how this stitches out. Okay, I'm going to turn the video off, and I'm going to set this up so that we can go ahead and do a sew out, and you can see how it sews out. Okay, see you in a few. Okay, everyone, we're back here. And I want to go over the supplies that you're going to need. Now, this little bag, it says it takes 6 minutes to sew it out. So for supplies, I have like a 7-inch zipper here. Okay, you got an inch zipper. I have a key ring with twill tape. With twill tape that I used a glue stick and just glued the end so it would stay closed for me. I have 4 pieces of a charm pack. Any charm pack you want to use, it doesn't matter. It helps if it's in, let me get it right here. It helps if it's in the same collection, okay? This one was like I think it says a Fiddly-Dee by My Three Sisters. No telling how old it is. I don't know how old it is. But I have oodles of charm packs. And as long as you're in the same collection, everything's going to go. So I just separated the blues, the purples, the pinks, the yellows, the greens, and then I just chose 4 different fabrics out of that color lot. And I put the pretty ones on the front, so I chose the 2 flowers for the front. And what you do is you just shake your charm pack here and your fabric, and you just fold it. Just go ahead and fold it and iron it so that it's folded in half. And then you have 2 of your backing. Now when you do your backing, you want wrong sides together. And you can see that this side is different from that side. Okay? And I used a glue stick, and I just glued the little corners so that it would stay intact and it wouldn't shift on me whenever I start to sew everything. So that's all I have is 2 of these, 2 of these, a little hook here if I want that, and a 7-inch zipper. And you can buy these zippers, you can get them anywhere, and I just buy them in a clump. It's called like a variety pack. See here, all these zippers in different colors, and I think you get 25 maybe. You can find them anywhere. You can find them on Etsy, eBay, Amazon. I think Gloria has zippers. Now her zippers are real nice quality zippers. I just got the economy zippers. I have some really nice zippers, but I didn't want to use them on these. I saved those for really nice bags that I'm going to be doing. Okay, so that's your supplies that you're going to be doing. I have dissolvable, it's a Baby Lock brand, dissolve away stabilizer in my hoop here. Let me turn my machine over to my hoop here. So I have that in my hoop. I have a 5x7 hoop. I like this better. Don't use if you use a dissolve away or water washable, don't use the clear stuff. Use something that is more like no-show, but it's dissolvable. It's sturdier. And I really like this because what you will do is you will do your dissolve. I can't remember which one I cleared up here. Yeah, this one here. Let's see. Where's my camera? Okay, so I used the dissolve on here, and you can see you can't see the dissolve because I used a Q-tip with water, and I just wet the zipper. Now, you don't have to worry about the sides. The edge that you have here, you can leave that dissolvable in that. You don't have to worry about it because when you open these pouches, you can't even see the edges. So don't worry about the edges or getting your whatever you're using for stabilizer. Now, the first one I did, I used the tearaway stabilizer. Okay, I used the tearaway, and I tell you what, well, my zipper's white in this, so it didn't show in this one, but it is a real booger to try to get out of that zipper. It was on this one here, and I had to use my fingernail to get it out of the zipper part here, so I did not like the tearaway at all. I liked the dissolve away stabilizer, so that's what I have in here. You only need one color of thread. Just use like when I did a pink one, I put pink in. When I did a green one, I put green in, you know, vice versa, all that. Okay, so I have pink in right now, and the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and do, you know what, I'm going to need a brighter pink, or you are not going to be able to see that. I didn't even think about that. I can see it right here, but you're not going to be able to see it on camera. So I'm going to get a brighter pink. We're ready to go now. So let's do our alignment for our zipper. Now remember, I have my machine set at 400. I slowed my machine down. And my presser foot has been raised one click. It's at the 0.080. It was 6.0, now it's 8.0. And also, I took my tape, and what I did was tear it in half. I took my Kimberbell tape, tear it in half so that you have little strips. And that makes it easier too, because the tape's a little wide whenever you're taping your zipper in. And I didn't need it that wide. Okay, take your zipper. I put the top of the zipper up at the top here. You want it right in between those lines. And you have see how much you have down here? So just pull that up. And the first one that I put on is the top. So I just come up here, tape it right there, and then tape it on the sides. As long as you're on the machine bed of the, you can press down on that, and you just want it right in between the lines there. Okay, let's do the next one. I'm going to tape it down here so it's not in the way of the zipper path. Okay, now as it comes down, I am going to follow it down so that it stays straight. Okay, now you could put another piece of tape here, but I don't want to take it out. So the next run, I just kind of watch it. And I just kind of follow it down right in the front there. Make sure it stays straight. See, it's tacking the zipper right there. Now it's going to pop a little bit because your foot is up some. Okay, that's just normal. Stay in front of it a little bit here. I'm just going to follow it down. That way it stays nice and straight and it doesn't buckle with me. Okay, now that's finished. Now we want to do our sides. Now for our sides, let's make sure you can see that. For your sides, you want to be sure that the sides cover your line here. Okay, so if I move this into place, I can see that my sides overlap. So I'm going to butt this right up next to the zipper, right here. Okay, it's right next to that zipper. And I'm going to take some little short tape here, and I'm just going to tape it right here on this end, just a little bit, and on this end here. Take another little short piece. I'm going to tape it right here on this end, just so it doesn't pull up. Okay, that should be good right there. All right, let's go ahead and push start. You'll do a double run. next one ready. That one's done. Now let's go ahead and do the other side. The other side, it starts up here in this corner here. Now just align this up with the top of this one, but it right next to the zipper teeth. Okay, it needs to go up just a hair more. There we go. Now I can go ahead and tape a little piece up here. Just so it catches that edge right there. It just kind of holds it still. And down here. Okay, now it's held secure. Okay, go ahead and do the next stitch. Pretty fabrics. I love pink. It's one of my favorite colors. And I like the turquoise. But see how you can use different fabrics? And they all blend together because they're all the same set. Came from the same batch. And I have all kinds of, look at this pretty charm pack. Look at all these beautiful colors. Can't wait to dig into that one. Like I say, I must have 20 charm pack kits from way back. So now I can go ahead and sew them up. Okay, now this is the important steps that you need to do. Okay, let's take the tape off of this one and take just the edges off right here. And you can use this tape 2 or 3 times. I have a little desk here that I put the tape on, and I use it 2 or 3 times. As long as it's sticky, I can go ahead and use it. Now we want to take the tape off of the top up here and just set it aside right here. Now, this is where if you want to do any kind of editing on your bag, which means if you want a name on it, if you want a little design on it, if you want initials on it, this is where you're going to do that. And what you would do is you would hit your home button, and it's going to ask you, do you want to delete this? You just go, yes, I do. And then you would go into where your design is, where your text is, and you would go ahead and put your text on or put your little design on. Do all of that, and you would need a machine that has a scanner on it, or you would need a machine that has your registration marks, because you need to see this. You need to see what's in your hoop so that you can place your designs or your writing on it. Okay? So if you don't have that, then you're just going to have to eyeball it. Okay? So go ahead and do your designs or your lettering, whatever you want to do at this stage. Now, once you've done that and you come back, then the first thing you're going to do is unzip your zipper. Now, if I unzip this is all the way right here. See the bottom line here? That's all the way. We don't want it all the way. If I zip this up halfway, I don't want it halfway either. I want it between the bottom and halfway, which is about 2/3. And place your metal pull up like that. Okay, and I've got that much room. Have to have enough room for that foot to go this direction. Now I'm going to retape this here because I want this to remain closed when it goes back over it. So I tape that right there. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is, I have to make sure I have my notes on here so I don't miss anything. And move the zipper. Okay. And if you want a loop, see I have a loop here with a ring on it. So what you want to do is you want to put the ring on the inside here along with your hook there, and you want it right in the center of your zipper, and you want it sticking out as far as what your fabric goes. And then I'm going to grab a piece of tape here, and I'm going to tape it outside where my line's going to go, right on the end, and press it down. Okay, here's my loop right here. This is a 3-inch length of twill, cotton twill. And you can buy this. I bought this online. I'll show it to you. And you get all these different colors. And it's cotton twill. It is about 1/4 of an inch. And you get all these colors. And that's what I use for my loops. It sews through really nice. Now you can use ribbon too if you have ribbon, but I found with ribbon that has a design on it, and you touch that with an iron, your design's going to be gone. It's going to be on the back of your iron. So I decided to go with twill tape for all of my stuff. Now I'm going to put another one right here. I just don't want that ring going anywhere. And I'll put one to hold that ring right there. Okay, so now that's all taped up. And when you put your back on, whatever fabric you have on the top is going to be your lining. That's what you're going to see when you open up your bag like that. Okay, so keep that in mind. I like both of these. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one for my top. Now remember, I have glued these ends so that this doesn't shift around. It really helps. Just use a glue stick. It's fine, and you line this up as close as you can get to the bottom here. It's going to sew inside, so you're not going to, it's going to be big enough for you, I guess is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, lay it down. Now we're going to tape it on all fours. Okay, because it's going to sew in. It's not going to sew right out here on the edge. I designed it where it would sew inward because of our base when we put the sides on. Otherwise you're going to have your sidelines showing, and I don't want the sidelines showing. Okay, let's take this up here. And I need one more down here. And I'm just going in probably 1/8 of an inch. Okay, everything is taped. And we're going to do 2 runs with this bean stitch. So let's start it. Okay, we're going to go over our twill tape. See, it went over it like nothing. It's going to come down this way. see how far it's coming in? It's coming in more than 1/4 of an inch. But you can see I don't have any lines around this back here. In other words, my side line, now it went over the zipper there. Another thing, do not use metal zippers. That's really important. Need to say that in the beginning there. But do not use metal zippers. Make sure all your zippers are the nylon zippers. No metal. You will end up with a lot of problems. You'll end up with taking your machine in. It'll do a lot of damage to your machine. So make sure that your zippers are the nylon ones. Okay, now we're going to do our next stitch. Okay, so go ahead and start it. And this one, it just makes a nice base for it. Because on these here, when I just did one run, I had to go back and reinforce the stitches. I had to go back and reinforce the stitches that went across here. On this one and the bottom one, the top and the bottom. I had to use my sewing machine and reinforce those because I didn't trust it staying put together. So that's when I decided to do a bean stitch and do a double run and have them a little bit apart there. Just for that extra assurance that it would be sturdy enough, you know, so that if you give them to kids and stuff, when they, you know, unzip them and pull them, that it's sturdy enough that it will last. And you can go crazy with these charm packs. And you can make so many of them in all these pretty little colors. Everything's going to blend and match, and they're great. I keep one in my purse that has a USB. I mean, you got lots of rooms on this USB. Let me get one here. Look. Here's your USB. Look at all the room. I can get a ton of USBs in that. You have a hook here. And what you can do with the hook is you can get you some of these swivel, I think they're called lobster clamps, okay? And see, it swivels. And this key ring here, you open it, see, and then you put this on, put it on like that. And now you can clip it to their backpacks. You can clip it to your purse. You know, your handle of your purse. They're just really, really small and really nice size to keep a lot of little odds and ends. So you can get the little clips on these too. All right, our project is done. And so what you'll want to do is just go ahead and take all your tape off. I think I might as well throw away all this tape because I think it's on its last lap here. Take the loop out. There we go. Take your tape off. Okay, now what I would do, I would go ahead and I would trim up some of these strings back here. You get quite a few strings, so I would trim them up so it looks a little neater, because your sides, if people want to really look inside, they can. So the next thing that you would do is you would get, let's see, where's my seam ripper? Well, let me see here. Did I put it back here? Okay, so here's my seam ripper. I like this one because it's small. And let's go right down here so that you can see. All right, so with this wash away, what you would want to do on the wash away is, I didn't know this, but let me show you this one little trick here. Let me get my seam ripper in there. Okay, now your seam ripper, you have an let's see, you have an end here, and then you have this little ball thing. Turn your seam ripper this other way, where the ball is. Then put it in your wash away. Now take it and run it right up and let it touch that line. See, and it won't go through because the ball stops it. Turn your hoop. Oops, let me get the ball back in there. Go around it. Go to the next line. Turn it. Go to the next line. Helps if I hold this. Go right on up. That little ball will stop that. I never knew what that little ball was for. I just found out recently. And I'm 75 years old, so I never knew what that little ball was for. Now I know. That's kind of nifty. I thought that was so neat. So that's how you would get your stabilizer out of the back here. I didn't do too good. I was trying to stay in the camera here. There. So you want to go ahead and get your stabilizer out. I took out the two sides, and I took out the zipper side. Okay. Then when you unhoop this, then you go ahead and you trim it. I cut the ends at an angle here. You know, when it's out of the hoop here, you would cut the ends at an angle here, like that. And I would go ahead and trim this with pinking shears. Don't use your real good scissors to cut this zipper. I have some craft scissors that I use. And I would get closer than what it is right now. It's too far away right now, and there's too much fabric on that. But you would go ahead and unhoop it. At this point, you're finished with it. And what I do whenever I trim this off is I turn it to the back here, and I just make a little crease here like that. And you can just take a pair of scissors and put your scissors right here, get it started, and then just go right up the stabilizer, and it'll just come right off. There you go. And you do the same thing for all of it going around. Just make a crease like that. Take your scissors, get it started, keep them open, and then just go right up the line there. Okay, and it'll make a nice little edge there. And you can leave that in. You don't have to soak this in water. You know, you can drop it in water if you want to wait for days for it to dry, but you don't need to, because I'm telling you, you do not see the sides of this when you're putting stuff in your bag. I leave it in kind of like as a reinforcement also. Okay, so get that all trimmed off like that. See, there's the back of your bag there. And then I would go ahead and take off this, but for purposes, get my craft scissors right here. And you would cut this even, like that. Okay, cut this one even. That, and then turn it, cut the edges. Let's see, can you see? Be sure you don't cut your corner stitching. You want to be away from your stitching. Cut your edges. Okay, now we've got tape inside. Remember, we taped our little holder here. So now let's just go ahead and turn it inside out. I've got some more tape in here. Gotta get. Here we go. Now I'm just going to turn the whole thing inside out. Not going to worry about the corners yet. Now if you have one of those turning tools, poke your corners out. Now I have a little purple thing here, and I can take this and I can just poke the corners out some. This one will poke through though, so you have to be careful. I really like the metal one, which is over there. It's over there on my ironing board. So let me unzip this. Okay, I'm going to use a square end so I don't poke through. Yeah, the other one works a lot better. I need my corners poked out more, but you can see, you know, got your little lining there. And then of course you would want to iron it, get your corners poked out a little nicer with your turning tool, and your little zipper bag is done. Is that not cute? I think they're really cute. So decide how you want to do your little zipper bags. You know, have fun putting designs, have fun doing names. It'll be Easter next weekend. Maybe you could do some little Easter bags and put some little candies in there for your grandkids. For yourself, you know, whoever you want to give them to. Make sure they're wrapped though. Don't want them to melt in your bag. Okay, so there's our session on our little bag. And I hope you make lots of little bags. Have fun with this. And make sure you like and subscribe. Leave me some comments. I love comments. And also, visit my eBay store. I'll leave a link below. I have lots of goodies in the eBay store. I will be putting some of these bags in there now that I'm making these. I have floral paintings that I paint. I have table toppers, mug rugs, coasters. Now I'll have some bags in there. Go visit my store just to see what I have. Everything is very, very reasonable in there. I'm not high priced at all. So go ahead and do that. Also send me photos of what you do so that I can put it on my YouTube. At the end of my YouTube demonstrations, I go ahead and put all the pictures up that everyone sends me with their name underneath it. And I like doing that because it really inspires me to keep doing more things for you when I know that you're enjoying the projects. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a nice Easter, and until I see you next time, bye for now.